Alright, so now we're going to talk about tagging, so actually noting the drawing. And in Revit there's several different ways that you can tag things. You can use a text note, which is just sort of the way that you would do it in AutoCAD, so drawing a leader with some text on it. So for example, if I go to Annotate and Text, in the leader area you can do simple text, which will create something like this, or you can have different sort of leader attachments, so straight with a little segment on it. This one is arch, so if I go straight with two segments, I can come down here and tag that, right? And I could say floor 360 millimeter, right? Maybe make that not capital on the millimeter, and that is just a straight up text tag. So not smart, not calling out any information that's embedded within this model. A tag by category looks at the category of the item, so the category floor, and will pull information from that category. So I'm going to take this and just sort of move it down here, right? So for example, if I come up here to tag by category, and I select the floor, it's going to tell me there's no tag loaded for floor. So there are families that are specific to categories to tag them. And if you don't have that loaded into your project, it'll ask you and prompt you to load it. And so I'll say, yes, I would like to load a tag. So it's going to the US Imperial. I could go to the metric, but in this case it doesn't really matter. It's just going to read what's in the file. If I go to annotations, and I scroll down, I always look in the default, there's no floor tag in here. So I'm going to go to architectural, scroll down a little bit, and there's a floor tag. So I'm going to click open, and it's going to load that floor tag in, and it's going to allow me to pick this floor. And up here it's a leader with an attached end. I'll make a leader with a free end, and I'll left click on that floor, pull that up, and pull that over, right? So now you'll see that it's calling out information that's embedded in this floor. If I select modify to stop the tag command and pick that floor, you'll see that it's actually calling out the type name, and it has a different text. If you want to modify the text, you need to modify the family, and you can also modify what it's calling out. So if I select that floor and go to edit type, you're going to see that the type name is what's being called out here. You can also set any of this information to be called out. So for example, if I had a type mark or comments, so if I had comments like 2 hour, or actually it probably has a rating area in here in assembly code, but you could have type comments that were like level 2 floor roof, right? And so if I click OK, I can select this tag, edit that family, and if I go into the family, I can select this, I can edit the type, I can change the font to Century Gothic, which is what I usually use, right? I can change the size of it if I want. I can also edit the label, and if I edit the label, you see it's calling out the type name. I can actually come in and take the type comments and put them under the type name, or remove the type name. I'm going to put a break after the type name so it always returns after that. And if I click OK, see it has this as a sample type comment. I can load that into project, overwrite the existing version, and now we have both of those right in there. You see level 2 floor roof, and if I go back and edit that family, I can pick this text box and make it larger, right? And then if I load that back into project, overwrite the existing version, it'll clink that guy out, and I would have to adjust where that text was, and then where this little guy pulls out, and all that kind of stuff. But you can go in and adjust all of that, and control what information it's showing from that object. Okay. When we come back, we will look at one more thing. If you want to control like what the arrowhead looks like, you can select the tag and go to edit type, and it will allow you to do a filled arrow at 15, right? And I could do the same for this, edit type, do a filled arrow at 15. Click OK. And you can see this color is set to gray. I could reset that color. Since this is just a text, it has a lot more control within the project. Alright, so when we come back, we'll do material tags.